What's up, guys? This is Derek from MorePlatesMoreDates.com. Today we're going to be talking quickly about should you incorporate cheat meals into your diet. So, particularly while cutting, obviously when you're bulking or trying to gain muscle, having a cheat meal a few times a week or once a week is kind of like, I'd say it's common sense that you can get away with that because you're trying to eat in a surplus anyways. But in a deficit, is it okay? So I think they're not only okay, I think in a sense, for certain body types, they're a necessity. And I'm going to talk about why. So you've probably heard me talk about ghrelin and leptin in some of my other videos if you're subscribed to me and you've seen my other diet-related videos. Basically, leptin and ghrelin are kind of what regulate your appetite. Ghrelin, when it's secreted, I don't know how to pronounce that word, so ghrelin, I'm pretty sure it is. When it's secreted by your stomach, it makes you hungry. Leptin, the higher it is, the more suppressed your appetite is, the lower it is, the hungrier you're going to be. It's kind of like the appetite suppressant hormone. So when you get leaner, your leptin gets lower. As you get fatter, your leptin goes up. And basically, as you diet down and you get leaner and leaner, your leptin levels start going down along with it. And this is why I'm sure all of you guys who've tried dieting really hard have noticed you start to get more and more intense cravings and more hungry as you lose weight. And eventually, by the time you get to an end of a diet, let's say you're actually trying to get shredded and you're in the sub 10% range, it can be literally unbearable for some people how much cravings you have. Like, all you can think about is food. You don't even care about sex anymore. You'd rather eat a cookie or something. So pretty much onto the cheat meal thing. Basically, what your body does is as you deprive it of calories and energy in your calorie deficit, your body regulates its metabolism and slows it down to accommodate that intake of energy that you're giving it. So that subpar deficit of energy you're giving it, it thinks that you're starving. So it lowers and slows down your metabolism to accommodate that and to prevent you from withering away and dying, because that's what it thinks is happening pretty much. So as your body's metabolism starts to go down and your leptin goes down, it can become really unbearable. And what having a cheat meal once a week can do, basically when you have a cheat meal, we're not talking about, when you have a cheat meal, let's get this out of the way too. You aren't taking out calories from your current diet and then replacing it with a cheat meal and keeping your calorie allotment the same. That day when you have a cheat meal, you're having your whole diet and you have a cheat meal on top of that. Or if you're replacing, a meal, you're having a cheat meal that has calories in excess of what you would typically have. The entire point of a cheat meal is to temporarily eat in a surplus, so to speak. So you might not actually be in like 3,500 calories or something like a traditional surplus, but you're in a surplus for relative to your body's current slowed down metabolic rate kind of. So if you're normally eating 2,500 calories a day to lose weight, your cheat day could bring you up to your cheat meal, could bring you up to like 3,000 that day or something like that. And that's totally okay, and that's the whole purpose of it. The whole point of eating in that temporary surplus or not in your deficit is when your body is slowing down the metabolism, if you have that one day where you suddenly give it back more than enough energy it needs for that day, your body realizes, oh, okay, I don't need to, slow down the metabolism anymore because I have a sufficient amount of calories, and it stops that process of quickly slowing down your metabolism to adapt to that lower rate of calories. So through this process of having a cheat meal once a week, you can actually keep your metabolism firing faster and better and more efficient on a weekly basis, which equates to more fat loss. So you're actually helping yourself by having that weekly cheat meal. Now, the only time I wouldn't suggest a cheat meal is if you have an excessive amount of body fat and you have next to no muscle tissue. Because when you're like this, you already have such a poor metabolism anyways. The best thing you can do is not do a 2-step forward, 1-step back kind of approach. Instead, you want to just rip the fat off your body. At least if you're going to incorporate a cheat meal, it should be on a less frequent basis than somebody who's leaner. So that's just my opinion and stance on it. As far as, for sanity purposes, I think having cheat meals are important as well. Even if you're not necessarily in a, the body composition that I just explained that would, require or kind of encourage me to say, yeah, you should get a cheat meal more often. I think at least once every 2 weeks, even if you're, on the closer end of the spectrum where you're kind of just a guy who's super fat and has no muscle. Everyone, people have friends, they have families, you have like social events and stuff, and having one day where you can eat whatever and not have to worry about stuff is going to be, crucial for not like ostracizing yourself from society pretty much. Because when you get into this lifestyle and you start to become it's not too dedicated, but you become so strict that you're skipping out on important functions and important events in your life because you got to be perfect on your diet or perfect on your training or something. That's when this lifestyle is consuming you too much, and you need to take a step back and realize that bodybuilding isn't everything. And I know a lot of times it can seem like you can really get sucked into that path, but no matter what, let's just put it out there right now. One cheat meal at least every 2 weeks, no matter the body type. The leaner you are and the faster you're making progress, the more you can get away with it. And at that point, for a novice guy, I would say once a week is okay. And then if you're like a freak with a nutty metabolism, maybe a couple or a few times a week max. But typically, that's kind of the approach you should take to it. And by having that cheat meal, you're going to increase your leptin levels, which are going to help suppress your appetite. And you're going to keep your metabolism from slowing down as fast as it would normally if you were to otherwise not have that cheat day and stay at your calorie deficit on that particular day. So through this process, you can not want to kill yourself as much, and you can still enjoy a bit more of a social life. So anyway, I hope that clarified some things, put some stuff into perspective. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Check out my blog, moreplates.moredates.com. Subscribe there. Talk to you guys soon.